Captain Wilco. The two from the castle must be in the city.
The 2-episode premiere of The Bad Batch Season 2 saw the introduction of a new clone captain who acts as an antagonist to Clone Force 99, interfering in their mission to make off with a portion of the now-dead Count Dooku's war chest on his homeworld Sereno. This new clone, Captain Wilco, would prove to be one of the most competent and effective soldiers seen within the ranks of the Galactic Empire. Stationed on Sereno with a company of clone troopers, Wilco's assignment was to oversee the transportation of Dooku's fortune aboard several Class 4 cargo transports. Being deployed to make sure the wealth of a now-dead Sith Lord is escorted someplace else can't be the ideal mission for soldiers bred and trained for combat. The situation Wilco and his men are found in is echoed later on in the season with Mayday and Crosshair's pressure mine conversation.
Combat troopers stuck babysitting cargo shipments.
Mission's a mission.
Yeah, I used to say the same thing.
I'm sure at this point in time, prior to the defense recruitment bill going into effect, the clones of Wilco's company are thinking the same way Crosshair is. It doesn't matter what the mission is, dangerous or not, at least they're doing something. The Bad Batch make their way toward Castle Sereno and must quickly sneak their way into a cargo container to steal as much as they can before the transport takes off. One of the clones on patrol, CT-8801, nearly catches them but is stunned and hidden on the container. Another trooper reports to Wilco that the patrolling clone hasn't checked in, and Wilco sends out a squad to find him. Hunter, having separated from the group to set up explosives on a few V-Wing fighters, triggers the detonation and draws away the squad of clones. When assessing the damage and not knowing the cause of the explosion, Wilco immediately orders the final cargo transport to secure the cargo and prepare for takeoff, and for all clone squads to form a perimeter around the containers. With all the containers secured, Tech, Echo, and Omega are locked inside, with Hunter and Wrecker trying to get them out. Wilco sees the breach and orders the transport to lift off immediately. Hunter and Wrecker are unable to rescue the trapped squad mates and are forced inside Dooku's palace. In pursuit, Wilco has the area outside the palace locked down and takes a team inside to deal with the intruders. Trying to reach the escape pods aboard the transport, the rogue clones are discovered and are reported to Wilco. The captain orders all escape pods to be released, knowing that is the way they will try to escape the vessel. The pods are launched, effectively stopping that plan. Wilco continues his pursuit of Hunter and Wrecker, who are able to use one of Dooku's trick escape hatches to evade the incoming clones. Meanwhile, the other three come up with a plan to use one of the cargo containers to flee the transport, putting their trust in the re-entry thrusters to save them from a crash landing. Once again stunning CT-8801, poor guy can't catch a break, they are able to separate the containers and drop to the surface. Wilco is updated on the location of all the scattered containers. At this time, it's assumed among the clones that the thieves aboard the transport were killed in the crash. Also under the assumption Hunter and Wrecker are fleeing into the ruins of the city below, he orders all clones protecting the castle to be redirected to the city, along with an order to monitor all communication channels. As Hunter and Wrecker try to hide amongst the ruins, they realize that comm channels will be monitored. So Hunter sends a coded message to Tech, Echo, and Omega to go radio silent. As night falls, Wilco is informed of this transmission, realizing that the other three survived the crash. He orders the recovery squads to search for all 50 containers in an attempt to both secure the war chest and locate the thieves. Remaining with the other clones, Wilco continues his search for the other two in the city. Hunter and Wrecker try to make use of Separatist tanks to stand their ground against the Imperial forces, but have no such luck. Wilco and his squad spot them from afar and orders them to engage. Wrecker is able to even the odds with a cannon he powers up with a battery pack and takes out the air support. Wilco sees the danger, forcing he and his men to retreat, but Wrecker opens fire, knocking down many troopers, including Wilco, as Hunter stuns the rest. The two rogue clones make their way for the Havoc Marauder, and this is relayed to Wilco as he checks on his wounded men. Ordering air support to be rerouted in an effort to deal with them, it's to no avail as Clone Force 99 repels them. Meanwhile, one of the recovery squads find the container with the other intruders, but after a brief skirmish, they are defeated, and Clone Force 99 escapes Sereno with their lives. Later on, Vice Admiral Rampart arrives on Sereno with Captain Wilco informing him that nearly all the scattered cargo containers will be found and brought back. However, Rampart is not there because of the delayed cargo shipment, but instead because Wilco's report included Clone Force 99 as the thieves. Rampart, being the one responsible for the destruction of Tipoca City while the squad was still in the facility, believed them to be dead. but Wilco reaffirms that it was the rogue clones, having seen 2 of them with his own eyes. With Rampart now concerned for his job security, he says that there will be a new report filed that has no mention of the Bad Batch to cover up Rampart's failure. Wilco, unwilling to lie and showing his integrity, refuses to submit a fake report. Rampart pulls his pistol on Wilco and says that he will instead. Wilco tries rushing the Admiral, but Rampart fires, sending Wilco plummeting off the railing and to his death. Rampart nonchalantly straightens himself up and leaves Sereno. And with that, this ends the story of Captain Wilco. Right away, I have to credit the amazing skills of the clone captain. Clone Force 99 went to Sereno with a goal in mind, and were it not for Wilco's ability to read the situation and come up with ways to thwart them, they would have succeeded. What's that? Some of the intruders are on the transport trying to escape? Eject all the escape pods. They survived crashing in a cargo container? Well, there were 50 of the containers, so find all 50. The other intruders are in the city? Set up a perimeter and slowly box them in. The rogue clones may have gotten away, but they definitely did not win. Wilco and his clones, though not directly stopping the Bad Batch, proved themselves to be effective, and on top of that, far superior to any recruited body like the TK troopers. When you see Clone Force 99 go up against the conscripted soldiers of the Empire, they are of little to no threat strategically or physically. The only threat they pose is their strength in numbers, which is the whole point of them existing in the first place. The Empire doesn't care about operational effectiveness in individual soldiers. They want people from all around the galaxy who will pledge loyalty and be in greater numbers to stomp out any resistance. It's unfortunate that after being sent to protect a bunch of cargo containers, the only time Wilco is able to showcase his military prowess is when he has to go up against the unpredictable and unorthodox Clone Force 99, who are able to make do with the changes in plan and still get out. Only for Wilco to then be executed by a superior officer for being a good soldier who follows orders. It's one of the biggest tragedies of the clones and an overall idea I'd love to touch on in the future. Let me know your thoughts about Captain Wilco. For being what's essentially a C-tier villain, he proved himself very capable. I mentioned this in my Captain Hauser video, be sure to watch that after this if you haven't, but I really thought Wilco was Hauser for a moment, but with his chip effect amplified. The pauldron was what did it for me, since Hauser wore his pauldron on the right shoulder as well. Thankfully it wasn't, but still tragic that yet another awesome clone suffers a very unfortunate fate. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell, all the fixes, and may the Force be with you.